What's going on, everybody? It's GAMEUNBOXINGREVIEWS here, and welcome back to another LEGO DC Supervillains video. So in today's video, I'm of course going to be showing you guys how to make Joaquin Phoenix's version of the Joker using the in-game customizer. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so to start off with, we're of course going to head into Appearance, Head, Head, and then Head again, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom until you find Custom Head 47 in, of course, this skin tone right here. Then once you've done that, you're going to back out of there, go into Face Decal color, and this is of course the color of the eyebrows, which we want to make sure are red. For the eyeshadow, you're going to go with this blue right here. For the lip color, it should be red on default, but just make sure anyway. And then for the wrinkle decal color, I don't think this really matters, so we'll just go ahead and make it white. Nice. Now then, we don't need any accessories, so now of course we can back out of there, go into hair, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom until you find the swept back long hairstyle in dark green. Nice. Now then, onto the body. So for the body, we're going to go for preset body, and you're going to scroll all the way to the very top until you find this body right here. So of course you will need the Batman the Animated Series character and level pack if you want to be able to make my very own custom version of Joaquin Phoenix's version of the Joker in this game. And of course for the color, we're going to go with dark red. Nice. Now then, for the arms, we're going to go to both arms, and you're going to scroll down until you find Commissioner Gordon's in, yet again, dark red. Now for the hands, you can see mine are already matching the skin tone, but just make sure that yours are too. So there we go. Nice. Now for the hips, you're just going to go with blank dark red like this, and then finally for the legs, you're going to scroll all the way to the very bottom until you find the Batman the Animated Series Joker legs, and again we're going to make them dark red. Nice. Now then, onto the effects. So we don't need a left hand glow or a right hand glow, but for the hit impact effects, we're going to turn that on. Make sure that you go with style 1, and then for the color, we're of course going to go with black. And you're also going to do the same for the jump slam effect as well. So turn it on, make sure that you go with style 1, and then for the color, we're going to go with black. Because as you can see here, it leaves less of an effect as possible. Nice. Now then, onto the abilities. So we don't need to add any abilities to the tag button, but for the jump button, we're going to go to double tap X and add the double jump ability. So we're going to turn that on, and we're going to go with jump style 2. Now you don't have to go with jump style 2 if you don't want to. It's just personally I absolutely love it because it's like the Joker is scaring people, which is really cool. Now then, we don't need the hyper jump ability, so we can leave hold X, and we're also going to leave the square button. But on tap circle, you're going to scroll down until you find explosives, turn that on, and of course we're going to go with this color right here, which I believe is the color of the explosive pies in the main game. And finally for the abilities, we're going to go to hold circle, scroll down to drone access, turn that on, and of course we're going to go with the chattering teeth, which is type 1. Nice. Now then, onto the skills. So I actually only gave the Joker one skill, and that is of course going to be Goon Command. And the reason I've given him this one ability is because in the most recently released trailer, we actually see all of these supporters of the Joker, and they're wearing clown masks and everything. So I thought that would be very fitting for this iteration of the character. So now of course we can move on into the personality. So for the health icon, you could either go with red for the color of the suit or green for the color of the hair. Personally, I'm going to go with green just to add a bit more Joker to the custom character. For the health type, we're going to go with standard health. For the voice, just choose any male voice. For the speed, go with normal. For the target reticle, this doesn't actually matter because we haven't given this version of the Joker the ability to target with anything, so I'm just going to stick with Mercy Graves. And then finally for the animation, we're of course going to go with the Trickster animation set because that is absolutely perfect. Watch as he laughs. There we go. That is awesome. Alright, so we've done the appearance, the effects, the abilities, the personality. We don't need to give him a weapon. Now I know we do see him holding a revolver in the trailer, and you can absolutely give him that if you want to. It's just personally I decided not to. But finally, of course, we need to fill in the basic information. So for the status, we're of course going to put villain. For the affiliation, we'll just go ahead and put unknown. And then for the name, I'm actually going to do something a little different. Instead of putting Joker, we're of course going to name him by the name that he has in the movie, which is Arthur Fleck. Nice. Alright, cool. So now of course what we're going to do is drop the Joker into the hub world and see just what he can do. And here he is! This is of course my custom made version of Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, made in LEGO DC Supervillains. Let's just get a good look at him right here. Now I've actually been working on this design pretty much ever since the first set photos for the movie were released. But of course after that incredible new trailer dropped, I just had to recreate this design as best as I possibly could and build on what I'd already made previously. So I've got to say, when you use the Batman the Animated Series version of the Joker's body and legs, this turns out looking probably as accurate as we're going to get it in this game. I mean, obviously, you know, there's always room for improvement. It would be great if we could change the face to look less feminine. It'd be great if we could get rid of the purple lines on the body, which to be honest aren't really much of a big deal because you're barely going to notice them when you're running around. And finally, it would also be great if we could add blue sleeves to the bottom of the arms, just like you see in the actual movie. But aside from all of that, I am still extremely happy with the way that this character design actually turned out. Anyway, enough chit chat. What can my version of the Joker actually do in this game? Well, of course, if we come over here, we can double jump in the air, and he actually does a scare animation, which I absolutely love. I mean, you guys don't have to choose that if you don't want to, because it kind of looks like he's stretched out a bit. I just thought it fit the character perfectly, so I think that looks really, really cool. Now, in terms of melee combat, the great thing about this game is it actually has a Joker animation set, so we can have all these Joker powers and abilities, which is really, really cool, because when you make, you know, whether it's Jared Leto, Joaquin Phoenix, or even Jack Nicholson's Joker, they still look and feel like the Joker when you run around with them, even though they are custom characters, which I think is extremely cool. Now then, we can also perform this jump attack, which usually destroys multiple objects. There we go. That's probably one of the more weaker jump attacks, but also we can do this, so we can throw explosive pies like this. There we go. Watch as they explode. Nice. And finally, we have the chattering teeth drone. If we come over here, this is the best place to demonstrate it. So there you go. There's the chattering teeth, and then if he chatters on over here, hold down square, boom, there we go. For some reason that didn't defeat that police officer, but it's okay, we can do that anyway. Come on. Come on, Joker. Yeah, nice one. Alright, cool. So now, of course, what we're going to do is head on into Gotham City as the Joker and fight the police. Because obviously, this is LEGO DC supervillains. And what better character to actually take on the police with than this Joker? Now, obviously, we just have to talk about that jaw-dropping new trailer. And the reason I'm describing it like that is basically because I just was not expecting the movie to look or feel like anything that we just saw in that trailer. I mean, the tone was crazy for the trailer. But I mean, if you think about it, you know, what we saw from the set photos, which were released quite a while ago now, if I remember correctly, this definitely looked to be a special movie, a really unique take on the comic book movie genre, something that I'm sure a lot of people are probably extremely sick of hearing by now. Because here's the thing, when you're making a comic book movie and you drift too far away from the source material, you're either going to end up with a movie probably as brilliant as Logan, or you're going to end up with a movie as massively disappointing as the most recent Fantastic Four film. But you know, with Fantastic Four, thankfully, I doubt we're ever going to see a movie with those characters as bad as the one that previously came out ever again, which is obviously great news. Anyway, back to Joker. So, you know, with Joker, I'm definitely not going to sit here and compare it with Logan, because they are two completely different movies. The only thing that I would say those two have in common is the fact that they are both dark and gritty, realistic takes on iconic comic book characters. One thing that I will say is, though, if you think about what happened with Deadpool, when Deadpool was released, it was a massive surprise. It did really, really well. It was a huge success, and I think a lot of studios were like, well, hey, you know, if that did well, let's start making more comic book movies that are R-rated. And I think the same could definitely happen with Joker. If it is a success, which is highly likely, we could definitely start seeing these realistic takes on iconic comic book characters, which would definitely be really cool, because I've been looking forward to this movie pretty much ever since it was first announced. I mean, as soon as Joaquin Phoenix was on board, I got extremely excited, because he is a brilliant actor. So when you take such a massive actor like that and put him in this insanely iconic role like the Joker, I mean, the possibilities are endless with what he could do with that performance. What we've seen already from him in the trailer is extremely exciting, and I just absolutely cannot wait to see more from his take on the Clown Prince of Crime. One thing that I'd say I'm most impressed about with Joaquin Phoenix, though, is just how far he's gone with this role, because if you look at the trailer, you can very clearly see that he has transformed his body, and that is commitment. That happened again. That is a really weird glitch. I'm not sure why that keeps happening, but anyway, yeah, so he has transformed his body for this role, and that is commitment, and I think, you know, that really shows that he's putting as much effort as possible into this role, which is very exciting indeed, and I just can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be an awesome movie. It of course comes out in October. For me, though, my favorite take on the Joker has always been Heath Ledger. I just think he did an absolutely outstanding job in that role, so it's going to be pretty difficult for anyone, let alone Joaquin Phoenix, to actually, you know, surpass what Heath Ledger did with the character, for me at least. But in saying that, I still think that Joaquin is going to be an amazing Joker. I think he's going to be very different. I think a lot of people that are expecting something from the comics might be surprised, because I think they're definitely doing their own thing. I think it's really going to be like an Elseworlds kind of story. It's definitely not tied to the DC Extended Universe or anything like that, even though that would be amazing. I mean, can you imagine that Joker taking on Ben Affleck's Batman, or whoever Matt Reeves is going to get to play the character next? That would be pretty insane. But you never know. I mean, if this movie does well, maybe they'll go, okay, people like that Joker, let's do more of him. Let's do an Elseworlds story with that Joker, with another Batman. So then you have Matt Reeves' Batman in the DC Extended Universe, but then you have this other Batman taking on Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. To me, that seems highly unlikely, but I mean, come on. You do want to see that Joker versus another Batman. That would be pretty sweet. But of course, we will just have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, I think that'll have to do it for this video. I've kind of showcased everything that my custom version of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker can do in this game. And I've got to say, you know, when I originally made this design, I thought, yeah, that looks alright. But the more you play with it, the more it really does look like that version of the character. So I am really happy with the way that he turned out. Anyway, guys, as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.